Kyoshi's all about tough love. More tough than love.
Ooh, bacon.
Greetings, tasty morsels. It's Reverse BLT here. Welcome to the channel. I'm about to watch the second episode of Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender adaptation. This episode is entitled Warriors, and looks like it's going to be them getting to Kyoshi Island, which might explain why in the first episode they were foreshadowing Kyoshi so much, because I was wondering about that. I'm definitely excited to see the Kyoshi Warriors, and Suki in particular, to see how they handle that, and I assume we will also get the backstory of Avatar Kyoshi in this episode, because it's a logical place to put it. It's not where it happened in the animated series, but it's a logical place to put it considering we have 8 episodes for this first season, which I think will basically cover all of Book 1 and probably elements of Book 2 and even maybe Book 3. Let's go ahead and get into this second episode, Avatar: The Last Airbender Warriors. Come out and play. Dun, 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 dun. Is Zuko throwing a tantrum? Of course he is.
He ran! The ultimate warrior! He's a coward!
I don't know about that, but it's clear that this avatar is not what you nor anyone else would have expected.
We definitely are getting Iroh's unflappable nature.
Maybe something in her shrine will help me control my power before
You kill someone?
it happens again.
Well, they're definitely keeping Sokka's cynicism. Momo!
What's this?
My dear Katara, this scroll has been passed down among the waterbenders of our tribe for generations.
Another big story change. I like it, though. It potentially does remove a later group, but I think it ties better into the character progression.
My whole life, you were there for me. And I wasn't there for you. Goodbye, Gyatso. I'm sorry. You want to join us, Mama?
Momo?
Means peach in Japanese.
Bet you taste like chicken.
I don't know if I like that particular jump cut.
One thing you must learn is how to get what you want without divulging your true intentions. You must use your tact, your empathy.
Oh no.
Most importantly, you need to have sticky rice.
Okay, now we're getting a little bit more of the lighthearted Iroh.
There she is. Giant scary lady.
You don't know the half of it. You neither know how giant nor how scary this lady was. Biggest feat of any avatar.
You're making a mistake. He's the Avatar.
Ridiculous. There would have been signs if he was the Avatar.
Okay.
I think that might be a sign.
We're peppering in the humor in a slightly different way than they did in the original.
Keeping to ourselves,
Oh, it's
we expect the outside world to do the same.
I don't know why I expected to remember her name. I never remember anybody's name.
I know I don't belong here. That's something I've been feeling a lot lately. But if you can help me, if I can learn to be the Avatar, maybe I could bring a place I knew. A world where people were happier back.
I like this change. This is a major thematic sort of shift, or not thematic shift, but like a difference in how they relate the theme of Aang healing the world.
Kyoshi herself often benefited from the kindness of strangers. And as the Avatar, she believed in helping those who could not help themselves.
And ruling with an iron fist.
I trust that you will respect the limits of our
So
generosity.
I see what they did here. They're mixing some of the plot elements of Avatar Day with Kyoshi Warrior arc.
I'm sure we can track down what you need.
Very kind. Commander.
Zhao. Commander Zhao. At your service.
Okay, music, you're a little too on the nose right now, considering that you clearly, the writing clearly does not want us to know anything about Commander Zhao yet, right? So the music was a little too on the nose there.
Someone needs to put a bell on you.
There's food in the village hall.
Okay, so we're establishing this a little early, or right off the bat, I should say.
I can't imagine what it's like, knowing you'll have to save the world. But avoiding practice doesn't mean you'll avoid the responsibility.
I know. It's just Gyatso used to be the one who trained me.
Listen to Sifu Katara.
We'll do this together. We're not going anywhere. Or you could just let me use you for target practice.
You know, this makes sense though. If you had learned your entire culture was gone, it would take a minute for you to come out of the funk that would inspire. You're not just going to be like happy-go-lucky right away.
Are you really an airbender?
Oh my god, please tell me he does the thingy. Come on, do the thingy. Oh, I was really hoping we'd get his goofy little like ball trick.
That's his real power. Connection. Building
Air
bridges.
scooter.
That's how he's gonna be the Avatar.
Literally right from the opening. Boomerang!
Seriously? Bell, think about it.
I do like this running gag they established.
Us Southern Water Tribe warriors are known more for our hand-to-hand fighting anyway.
Okay. So we're shifting...
Oh, right now?
We're shifting it from being a misogynist thing to just being like a kind of like a naive arrogance thing. Which really was probably more the core of what Sokka's problem was anyway, when we first meet him. Is really thinking that he's more than he was at the moment. And this is when he first really starts to understand how he's been sort of like a big fish in a very small pond.
Back home, the other kids used to say I was lucky because I never really had to train. But I did have to train. Not to develop my powers, but to keep them under control. I'm sorry!
Oh my goodness, I was about to say, did he just kill people? Holy shit.
They were scared of me. Just like how you and Sokka were when I went into the Avatar state. What if nothing in here can help me? What if I never learn how to control my power? How many people will I hurt?
But imagine what'll happen if you don't even try.
I am very happy with this change. This is a major change, but I am happy with it. Really stressing how dangerous the Avatar state is right from the beginning.
Stop! Stop!
Katas!
Stop! Stop!
Ah, Sokka. Get down into your stance, boy. What the hell? Got ourselves a little romance going on here, eh? Hey, focus. 2. Seriously. They're doing a good job of showing how Sokka is green, but also a fast learner. And I like how they're emphasizing that they're both teaching each other different things. You know what I mean? Suki clearly has been sheltered, and Sokka is inexperienced as a warrior. You know, he's got limited training in that respect. So you can consider both types of things training. There we go. See what I mean? Sokka's a fast learner.
I think you're a real warrior.
Not like you. You're not even a bender, and you're the fiercest fighter I've ever met.
Not being a bender means we have to be even better than benders.
I like what they did here by flipping how this happened. We actually used Suki to give Sokka an arc about feeling like a worthy warrior. I like that.
I've always wondered what the world outside was like, but I never had the courage to leave. I've always wondered what I'd find. Now I know.
And we're setting up some other stuff too. Yeah. Uh-oh.
The bell.
You hear it too?
We have to go.
Yeah, you hear it too.
Such a lovely island.
And we welcome you to it, Commander. Though we wish we'd had some advance notice.
How do they know he's a commander? I'm like, I don't see any rank insignia or anything.
We like keeping to ourselves.
I've heard.
Is it the sash? Damn, she yeeted that guy. Straight up yeeted him.
What if I hurt someone along the way?
And how many have already been hurt because you haven't been here? Run away from your responsibilities again, and even more will be hurt.
Kyoshi's all about tough love. More tough than love.
Tragedy awaits the North, and unless you do something about it, another race of benders will be wiped out just as the air nomads were. You asked me what it means to be the Avatar. It means being a warrior. A mighty, merciless warrior.
I like that we're getting the different perspectives of Aang's past lives. Because each one was shaped by their time and by, you know, the circumstances that they had to deal with. Kyoshi has, like, no real time for mercy. And so it's cool that we're establishing that early. That there's sort of an inherent conflict even in the Avatar's own internal being. Nicely done, Sokka. Sokka learns quick. Fight, Katara, fight! So yeah, we did mix in a little bit of the plot from Avatar Day.
Impossible.
About to say, you're not winning this fight, Zuko.
Go back. Back to the ship!
Definitely a clever remix. I like that. I want to see him collecting weapons as they go. Just like different weapons from all different parts of the world.
I can only call upon one of the past avatars when I'm in their shrines.
What else did she tell you?
We need
Okay.
to get to the Northern Water Tribe.
A little way of preserving stakes.
You have me, Tara, and a flying ball of fur. What more do you need?
Momo, of course.
Really? I feel like I walked into that one.
Ah, you love him.
Working together, we'd be able to devote twice as many resources
To the hunt, obviously, with your highness taking the lead in all matters.
An excellent suggestion, Commander.
Okay, definitely remixing a few things with the Zhao subplot as well.
The Avatar has returned.
I feel like episodes 1 and 2, obviously they dropped them all at once, so they want us to binge them all, but I feel like episodes 1 and 2 were specifically meant to be watched together. Even more probably than the ones that'll come afterward, because they form more or less a complete arc. I'm starting to get a picture in my mind of how they're going to structure this season and what major elements they're going to focus on. I already knew we weren't going to get all of Team Avatar's world hopping. I think we're gonna, like we saw with this episode, we're going to get them stopping in the places that have the most sort of relevance to the overall plot. We've already gotten the Fire Lord introduced at the end of this episode, which is way early. So we're not going to spend as much time leaving him as sort of like a nebulous force in the background. We're going to be bringing the Fire Nation antagonism, like all the elements of it, forward a little bit more. I would say the biggest changes they've made so far have been to the sort of root of Sokka's arc. They've definitely removed the misogyny aspect of it and made it more about warriors, like his identity as a warrior versus how he sees other warriors, which is smart in my opinion, because first of all, it makes Sokka a little more likable from the get-go, because he's already very cynical, which is a strike against him in terms of likability. But being misogynist as well, I mean, if you watch like a lot of other reactors who, you know, are reacting to, say, the animation for the first time, a common thread that pops up a lot is how difficult it is for a lot of them to connect with Sokka right away. And a big reason for that is the overt misogyny, which we don't really need to have in order to have him have the real arc, the main arc that he goes through, which is less about learning that girls can be fighters too, and much more about learning what it means to be a warrior. Because he views himself as a warrior, but one of the big things that emerges pretty quickly, and the misogyny was rooted in this too, which is one of the reasons why I don't mind them dropping it, was the fact that deep down inside he feels inadequate as a warrior. And we started to address that here with him meeting Suki. So they did a really good job of remixing that arc to begin Sokka's journey of addressing that feeling of inadequacy as a warrior. I like it. The other thing, and I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, is sort of bringing Zhao into the story as more of a sort of a sneaky adversary rather than a more overt, direct competitor with Zuko. I will need to see how that plays out more. That's another one of those things I'm going to put a pin in. I think it's got a lot of potential, but it's got to be handled in a certain way to really kind of feel satisfying at the end. My only real sticking point, and it's not, it's going to sound like I'm crapping on it, but I'm not. But it's the score. It's a good score. I just feel like a lot of times it's not matching the tone of the scenes that it's going with. The music itself is quite good, but it feels at odds sometimes with what's happening. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought of this episode and whether you agree with me that it felt like this and the first episode were kind of meant to be viewed together. As always, use your spoiler warnings in space if we're going to talk about anything that, you know, plot points that haven't happened yet that are likely to happen from the original animation. Or, of course, if you've already binge watched past where I'm at, I am beholden to the battery on my phone, which is how I record these reactions. So I have to stop here. I can only really do 2 episodes at a time until I can recharge. But yeah, as always, do your best to stay safe and be well. Talk to me in the comments, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you for the next one. Yep.
The city was drowning in decay.
You want to join us, Mama?
Chaos. Immorality. A message needed to be sent, etched in blood for all the world to see. A warning.